final Sunday of Cactus League action as we welcome you to the Valley of the Sun. Typical sunny skies here in Peoria as the Padres host the Milwaukee Brewers. And good afternoon, everyone, along with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. A week from tomorrow, the season begins in New York as the Padres will play the Mets. This is the dress rehearsal week, if you will. A lot of decisions to be made. Some of those involve starting pitching.
Yeah, one of the starting pitchers going today on the slab for the Padres is Eric Stoltz. When you look at the five, though, that are projected to start for the rotation for Buddy Black, Vólquez, Richard, Marquis. But today we're going to focus on Eric Stoltz. 14 starts last season. Dick, usually when you think of a mixologist, you think of a bartender. Yo, bartender, I need a refill. But Eric Stoltz is the mix master. He did it last year, putting up great numbers. Why? Because with the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup, it's just not three pitches. It's three fastballs, 83 to 90. It's the curveball, the short breaking ball, and then the big humpy hump, and then the changeup that brings hitters to their knees, screwing them into the ground. Hence the numbers, 8-3, a nice ERA, under 3. Opponents only hitting 249. That's why he has earned the right to try to crack this rotation in 2013.
And we'll see him today as part of March Madness. He played basketball at Bethel College as well as baseball. On that pitching rotation, of course, there's that fifth slot, and that's still somewhat wide open. However, making a strong bid, Tyson Ross, you saw him a couple of nights ago, another good outing. He now is number 3 in ERA of 2.9 in the entire National League this spring.
He has gotten better and better, and that's a good sign for Darren Balsley, the pitching coach of the Padres, and Buddy Black, the manager of the Friars. He has earned that right. He's putting up good numbers. The big 6'6" right-hander. Look for him to possibly be in the rotation for 2013.
Ready to have some fun?
I'm ready to talk some ball and have some fun from Peoria.
Yeah, Sunday, fun day. Let's see if it's run day. The Padres are second in Cactus League action and most runs scored. Glad you're with us. The opening pitch from Peoria, Arizona, coming up. We're set to go here at the Peoria Complex, celebrating its 20th anniversary. Padres take the field. And the Milwaukee Brewers, Ron Renneke, their manager, that's a split squad for Milwaukee today. Not many of their stars are here with this group. And Mike Guerrero has set, he's the AAA manager for the Brewers, and this is the lineup. Aoki, Murphy, Christopher Davis has had a terrific spring. This young guy from Cal State Fullerton has 6 home runs. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. We saw him last year. He had a couple of key hits to beat the Padres. Logan Schaefer, Sean Holt, and Blake Davis, not familiar names. Scooter Jeanette, and it is Willie, not Wiley, Peralta. He just needs to buy a consonant. On the mound, Eric Stoltz.
Well, we talked about Eric Stoltz in our open, and yes, he is the mix master. Fastball 83 to 90, 2 types of curveballs, a solid changeup from the left-hander. But the one thing Darren Balsley said before the game today is not a work day. It's a game situation day. He's not working on one particular pitch. This is if the bell has rung in New York, in Colorado, wherever the case may be. This is like a big league start during the regular 2013 campaign.
All right, this would be the ultimate start for Stoltz. He'll have one more before the season begins, and then we'll kind of get an idea of the rotation as we check the defense behind him. Jesus Guzman in left. Cam Maben will patrol center, and Mark Kotze in right, with Cody Ransom homered last night, Cabrera, Jerko, and Alonso on the infield. John Baker behind the plate. And we're ready to go. Norichika Aoki hit 288 last year, his first year out of the Japanese League, where he was a star for 8 seasons. Jed Jerko out at second base after playing 1 game Friday night at third. But Black wants to keep him at the spot where the Padres figure he'll be playing all season long, if that bat cooperates. And the first pitch of the game is in there for a strike. 31 years of age is Aoki. Good base stealer. Stole 30 last year. There's that big, slow, sweeping curveball.
Hey, break it out. Why not? The second pitch of the ball game. Believe me, these Brewers know about Eric Stoltz. He made quite a splash last year.
Another breaking pitch off the corner.
The shorter breaking ball. But you can just see the confidence of Eric Stoltz rise last year with each start. It does a lot for a pitcher, for a youngster, for a veteran. I don't care who you are.
Chopped to short. Has to hurry and gets the ball across in time as Cabrera takes care of Aoki. That's his style. Ichiro fall out of the batter's box and slap at the ball and try to beat it out if it stays on the infield. Donnie Murphy, journeyman infielder at shortstop today, comes up for Milwaukee.
We saw a ground ball. Eric Stoltz loves the ground ball. Why? Staying on top of the baseball, getting on top of it, not working around it like Clayton Richard talks about quite a bit.
In the hole, Cabrera off balance just in time. Good play by Everett Cabrera, who, of all the Padres this spring, and you go down the roster, there's been praise and special articles on almost every one of them because most of them are having a good spring. He's been below the radar. He's done everything at short. He just seems to be a more confident player at 26 this year.
It shows with the leather and the wood at the plate, going to his right, going to his left, and quite frankly, we get immune to all the plays that he makes at shortstop. That play there, some people might say, oh, is he going to make it? Well, we've seen him make that play many times.
And he's hit .355 the last 10 games, so that's improved as well. Well, here's Chris Davis, number 2 in home runs in the Cactus League with a half dozen, and he leads Milwaukee with 14 runs batted in. At Nashville last year, there are his numbers. He's been a solid minor league player. He's playing really on his home turf. Glendale, Arizona is just the next town over where he went to high school, and then Cal State Fullerton. He trails Mike Morse of the Seattle Mariners in the Cactus League home run derby. He doesn't get a hold of that one. There's the pitcher that we talked about. Stoltz mixing speeds, mixing pitches, and then gets him inside for the strikeout.
Arizona. You know, unlike the regular season, the wins and losses during the spring aren't exactly top priority. It's more about the individual numbers. And with that being said, Buddy Black has to like some of the statistics he's seen over the past couple of weeks. We'll take a look at 4 of the Padres who have started off this spring very hot. You know, Nick Hundley and Kyle Blanks both went deep last night against the Colorado Rockies. It's great to see Nick on that too, because he told me this morning he's feeling great. Finally, he's healthy. One of the most helpful pieces of advice he's gotten from his hitting coach, Phil Plantier, this spring is to just play within himself, rely on his athleticism, and not worry so much about the mechanics. He said when he stopped trying to overthink things, it just came to him naturally, guys.
Well, thank you, Kelly. And Hundley last year in a troubled season with the bat had only 3 home runs and has matched that this spring and hitting well over 400. That's one of the most positive pieces of news that we have for you. Here's the lineup today for Bud Black: Cabrera, Kotze, Alonso the first 3. Guzman will hit cleanup with Jerko in the 5th spot. Cameron Maben back in the lineup in center. Cody Ransom, he also homered last night. And John Baker and Eric Stoltz. Willie Peralta, a big guy, 6'1" and 245. Young, just 23 years of age, from the Dominican Republic.
And as Keith Jackson would say, he is a biggin. He is a big boy. Big, broad, 6'2" frame, 245.
Sky high in center field. Boy, that's now finally comes down. Cabrera got a lot of that one just underneath.
Oh, Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach for the Brewers, says he loves the build. I mean, just look at him. Big shoulders, big hips, big legs. He's a workhorse. Because of that build, he's going to give the Brewers innings. Live fastball, a slider, and a changeup. There is room for improvement on his secondary pitches because the fastball is there. It's in the mid-90s.
95.5 he averaged last year against major league hitters. And he fires the fastball for a strike at 93.
Comes right after you.
Kotze at 379 this spring. Late swing. 94 on the heater.
You know, one of the things going through the minds of these players in spring training since it's been so long, being here in the Cactus League, getting into that routine of the regular season, more night games, getting a chance to maybe sleep in a little bit, getting into that routine. That'll all start April 1st.
Yeah, they've been here a month and a half. As Kotze just punches one to left field, and it falls on the line. Fair ball, and Kotze will jog into second base with a double. Well, there's an Ichiro swing.
Yeah. He will gladly take that double, and I'm sure he will hear it from his teammates. How far off the plate is this? Oh, that's a good 6-8 inches. As you mentioned, Dick, Ichiro-like, just down the line, kicking up some chalk.
Hey, hit the green.
Yep,
he's putting.
That's right.
Just slap that one in the right spot. That's the geometry of the game. A veteran at 37, he knows that.
Yep.
That's why they put the chalk line there, so you can hit it. So the Padres have a chance to score here in the first. Here's Yonder Alonso. Alonso with a long home run on Friday night is 4th. He leads the club in homers.
I think that's what Alonso has to do this year. It was a mistake pitch. It was a high slider. He got extended, outer third of the plate, and pulling that baseball. He needs to crush the mistakes this year.
Now, the average, as you saw there, 216 for the spring, but that does not break it down first half and second half of the spring. He, this last 8 games, hitting .318 with the 4 home runs, and here is the swing.
And it's the mistake. Look at that. It's on contact, above the belt buckle. A breaking ball coming back in. So speeds up the bat, essentially, to Yonder Alonso, and he made that pitcher pay. He crushed it.
That was at least 420 feet to right. A ball and a strike. 1 out. Kotze at second. To left again, slicing and a long run for Davis, and left, he can't make the play, skips by him, and Kotze will round third and come home to score. As pulling it to second is Alonso, and the Padres lead 1-0. It's a tough Sky, and both those balls hit by Kotze and Alonso with plenty of slice working away from the left fielder Davis.
Yeah, right out of the gate, he gets jammed. Kotze's was off the end of the bat. This one, he gets jammed. That ball is slicing towards the left field line. No chance for Davis. And for the Padres, it's an in-and-out inning. Double-double. How about some cheese on that? And they're on the board as well.
And he sauteed onions.
It's all good.
One right on the corner here by the ballpark, you know. Wouldn't mind if you knocked on the door tonight and just brought me over a couple of those. Jesus Guzman, just a professional hitter. .313 this spring. He has 3 homers. Jed Jerko moves into the on-deck circle. 3 home runs in 14 games. You take that as you carried out, say, 100 games this year. Good man. They have on the bench when he isn't in the starting lineup. Pops him up. First baseman Holton staying in foul territory and catches that one just off the line. So a foul out Guzman, 2 away. Jed Jerko steps up with a .268 average. He's got 8 hits this spring. 15 hits, 8 of those for extra bases, 3 home runs and 5 doubles. Trying to pick up Alonso from second base and add to the 1-0 lead here early. The grassy berm in the outfield almost packed today.
It's a good ticket. Great way to enjoy a big league ball game.
$7. That's all it costs. Be out there and play left or right field. Bring your picnic basket and your suntan sunblock.
Be sure to stay tuned. Next half inning here on Fox Sports San Diego. We're going to have a chat with Edinson Vólquez from the Padre dugout. Talk to the right-handed starter.
Strike 2 with Jerko.
Talk about his spring and good string during the WBC.
Right, he was a key starter for the Dominican Republic as they won the World Baseball Classic. As he says, that was indeed a World Series, and it's mighty exciting for his country. I guess they had 15,000 in the baseball stadium in San Diego. Watching the game on television. Here's the Milwaukee defense. Chris Davis in left, Logan Schaefer in center, Aoki in right field with the infield of Davis, Murphy, Jeanette, and Holton. Maldonado behind the plate.
Dick, I'm going to make a prediction. My prediction is this: if wink, wink, Jed Jerko makes the team, I for some reason the number 9 comes into play.
That number is available, you say?
I think so. Yeah, he's wearing 68 right now, but it's just a hunch.
And he's got it. What did he tell us? His favorite number was 1, or 1 was his favorite?
4, I believe. No, 5, but Amarista is wearing 5. That's what it is.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jerko. Right down Broadway. Couple of doubles for the Padres, however. Katse and Alonso, and the Padres use that left field line to take a 1-0 lead.
The Peoria Sports Complex, the Padres up 1-0 already in the top of the second. I am now joined with Edinson Vólquez, who is fresh off his stint with the World Baseball Classic and Team Dominican Republic, who won it all. What an experience. What did you think?
That was great. That was unbelievable. Great experience, like you say, and, I enjoyed my time over there, and especially when you win.
You know, you had a pretty good outing against the Netherlands, of course, helped your team get to the championship game. What was the stage like, the atmosphere? That
was packed, a lot of fans, when you see all those fans over in the stands, watching you, and you get a little bit excited, and it's a lot of motivation, and I take that from the fans and took it to the game, and it did my job.
Now, I got to talk to Volky, as your teammates call you, just the other day about the championship game, and you probably didn't get to see as much of that as you would have liked, huh?
No, I was sick, and I just woke up in the ninth inning, and I was so sick, and I couldn't watch the game. I fall asleep, and I woke up in the night, come back outside, and enjoy the team.
You told me it was a dream come true, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought I was dreaming, and when I woke up, everything was right there. And, it was fine. It was great. And, like I said, I enjoyed my time with the team. And that was the best thing I ever played. And we won. That's what we were there. We was there to win, and we did it.
Now you're back with your Padres. A lot of the guys giving you high fives and hugs. Excited to see you. You keep this clubhouse pretty relaxed, don't you?
Oh, yeah. That's, I try. That's what a lot of guys take the games too much serious. And I try to keep it loose, and that's part of the game, I think every team have a guy like me, happy guy all the time, and enjoy my time.
This spring, the schedule a little different for you because you went to the World Baseball Classic. Now what do you look forward to in terms of pitching and getting yourself ready for possibly opening day?
I'll just keep working, as soon as I get back from San Francisco, then 2 days later I was pitching down in the minor league, two innings, and two bullpen today. I was trying to keep myself in shape and, get ready for the season.
Edinson, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you this season.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
Edinson Vólquez, great spirit, personality. As he says, I'm a happy guy. Fly ball to left, and now it's the Padres. Guzman challenged by that left field area, and then can't quite get there as he was running headlong into that wall and made a good slide to avoid a possible injury.
Put on the brakes. Great hustle by Guzman. And, sure it would have been great for him to make that catch. But it's spring training. Jesus Guzman, the Padres need you healthy. Great effort.
Well, Kelly was talking with Edinson Vólquez. You saw the opening inning double by Martin Maldonado. He crushed one to deep left center, just stayed in the park. He's at second, no one out. Logan Schaefer, a .280 spring, this left-handed hitter. And a foul territory. Ransom over to take a look and into the dugout, just out of his reach.
And no help from the Brewers bench. If that's over near the Padre bench, he's going to get a little help from his friends, saying, you got room, you got room. He's going to have teammates coming up there just so he doesn't go over that railing. Not so much from the Brewers. They're kicking back. You're on your own, big boy, they're saying.
So 2 strikes on Schaefer, who played his college ball. Beautiful campus of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. From Los Gatos, California, up in the Bay Area.
The Rams? Are they the Rams?
I could think about that.
Mustangs.
Mustangs, you're right. They
Mustangs.
are the Mustangs.
If you love a nice cold taste sensation, try some liquid grain.
So did you come up with
Florida today?
How about Florida Gulf Coast?
The Coasters.
No, they're not the Coasters. They're the Eagles.
Are they the Eagles?
1-2. And a good block by Baker. Second time that these two teams have played this spring. The Padres won the other encounter over at the Brewers base in Maryvale, 7-1. Game in which Jed Jerko hit a long home run. Milwaukee only 9-15 on the spring. And again, it's not the record, but the individual accomplishments getting ready for the season that count. Off third base, Ransom has a beat on it. And just enough room to make the catch. One away, and Sean Halton will be the batter.
Nice concentration on the part of Cody Ransom. He's got to deal with the sun. He's got to deal with the stands. A little bit of wind. Wind today blowing from right to left. So drifting. That's a big play. Big out for Eric Stoltz.
You know, Mark, they talk about the high sky in the desert, and people at home might be confused. What do you mean? The sky is always high.
No
but
depth perception.
No,
no depth perception. You've got a clear blue sky. You've got a white object up in the, and you really can't gauge it as far as how high it is or when it's coming down. It's very, very tough to get a beat on it.
That ball hit hard by Halt to right field. Kotsay on his horse and gets there in time at the track to make the catch. Good read by the veteran Mark Kotsay, breaking with a crack of the bat and making the play.
Big key ball off the bat, that first step for the veteran outfielder in right field today, Mark Kotsay. The pitch was away. You can tell also as an outfielder the sound of the ball off the bat. Gave it a pretty good ride. Nice technique. 2 hands, cradle it like a little baby. Caress it and get it in quickly back to the infield.
So 2 away here in the Milwaukee second. Blake Davis hitting .308. This youngster who played at Cal State Fullerton. Not with Mark Kotsay, but they both are products of that fine program, the Titans.
Nicely done, Professor. You beat me to it.
Yeah, beats to the punch. I couldn't wait.
Okay, let me quiz you real quick. Notre Dame.
Oh, come on.
I want to start out easy.
Yeah, I know. Wyoming State.
Fighting Porcupine.
If you know that one, then you're in the top echelon of your class, nickname class. One ball and 1 strike to Blake Davis. He was at Norfolk last year. AAA ball, hit .251. So is this with the start of the season just 8 days away for a pitcher? You know, early games in the spring, you work on things.
Sure.
I'm just going to try to throw a lot of change up, see if I can really get that thing zoned in. But at this stage, are you giving it the full 100%, maybe holding back a little bit?
Full 100%, full repertoire. The bottom line is you're trying to get guys out. You're not working on locating the fastball. You're not working on the change of the grip of the changeup. You are in full mode, trying to get outs to as few pitches as possible.
Chops to second, a nice 2 hops to Jerko. And the inning's over. So Eric Stoltz pitches around a leadoff double by Maldonado. Padres lead 1-0. Cameron Maven will lead off in the home half of the second here in Peoria.
Fact, the 100% electric.
We remind you, Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball. Brought to you by Sequan Casino. Get away for the day at the close and friendly Sequan Casino, celebrating 30 years of gaming in San Diego. Bottom of the second inning, Padres with a 1-0 lead. Back-to-back doubles by Kotsay and Alonso. Not hard hit, but well placed in the first inning off Willie Peralta. Cameron Maybin starts things with Cody Ransom and John Baker to follow here in the second.
Oh, Duck Dynasty here enjoying a big league ball game. See the beard on that gentleman? That's a lot of work right there. There you go.
That's a beauty, huh?
Yes, it is.
I wonder how many years work that is. We get Kelly on the case. See if she can go over and ask him about that. Maybin, 273 this spring. Has one home run, as you can see. Playing in less than half the games. Now the news about Carlos Quentin after playing 6 innings in a scrimmage yesterday is good. That he came out of that feeling okay. That Headley, of course, out for a month. So it's going to be a while before Bud Black has what he thought would be his lineup intact. But we're getting closer. He really hasn't used anything close to his opening day lineup thus far.
And the thing is, the question mark is, getting Carlos in a mode to where he'll be able to play back-to-back days, maybe 3 days in a row, maybe a day off.
News off the field, Freddie Garcia, the veteran right-hander, one of the outstanding pitchers in his career, worked last night and gave up 3 home runs. And then the bad news today, he was released by the Padres with all the best wishes from Josh Burns and Bud Black. Tough spring for him. He realizes he had a chance. He said it was all up to me. Chopped by the mound. That's going to be a tough chance for the Milwaukee shortstop, and he makes the play. Donnie Murphy just in time to throw out the speedy Cameron Maybin.
He knows the quickness of Cameron Maybin, so Donnie Murphy's got to get there quickly. 2 hands, hand near the glove. Watch how the hand is near the glove so he can make the transfer. Donnie Murphy with a nice throw. Gets him by an eyelash. That's a good play.
Very good play, and Maybin will beat out a lot of those. Cody Ransom, a name not familiar with Padre fans, as he was signed as a minor league free agent, but he has a lot of pop in his bat, and he sends that one deep to right field. And gone! Wow, did that ball jump out of here. His home runs have been to the opposite field. Ransom will touch them all. His 4th this spring. We're about to say he's going to be valued insurance with Chase Headley hurt, and if someone else should go down, heaven forbid, he would be available from Tucson. So Ransom touches them all, and it's 2-0 Padres.
No, it's always good to see a hitter go the opposite way, throw that bat head, stay on it, and of course it's Arizona. The ball's going to travel a little bit. The wind is kind of blowing that way. You're going to need a cab to get that one.
That brings up John Baker. Baker 8 for 30 this spring. Ransom has had stops in several major league teams. Man who can handle the leather over at third and can hit with rather surprising power.
Peralta, during the course of his minor league career, brief stint in the big leagues last year, not giving up a lot of home runs. So to hit a home run today off the young right-hander, that's a good sign for Cody Ransom.
Ransom played both at Milwaukee and Arizona last year. Line to left, but right at Chris Davis. 2 away. Just going back to Ransom, he broke in with the Giants 12 years ago. Also played for Houston, Yankees briefly, and had his best year there. Only 33 games, hit 300. Then Philadelphia, Arizona, and Milwaukee. Now the Padres property. He's done nothing wrong. Eric Stoltz.
There's your guy.
He can hit. 1 for 2 this spring with a couple of RBIs, a career .234 hitter. You can see.
You told me before the game, Professor, that you kind of had a good feeling about Eric Stoltz.
Yeah. And he slaps one hard to left. Davis comes in and makes the catch. I thought that was out of here. Just missed. Eric Stoltz makes the final out. Ransom, opposite field, power. gives the Padres a 2-0 lead. Folks, have you heard about this deal? The Budweiser 6-pack? It's worth looking into. You choose either a Friday or Sunday game against the Yankees. They'll be making their first trip to Petco Park, and then you pick 5 other games for your 6-pack. Games of your choice throughout the home season. Get your Padres Budweiser 6-pack at Padres.com or call 619-795-5555.
Beautiful.
Surveying the environs.
You know, the old baseball joke on that. Let's say you're sitting in the bullpen or something with your buddies and you see that. They're saying, hey, Grant, looks like the vulture's circling your shoulder because it's dead.
You're okay until it perches there, man.
Wasn't Phil Regan the
vulture?
The first vulture?
Yeah, he'd go in and tie up the game, and then the Dodgers would get a run, and he'd get the W.
Exactly.
Top of the third, Scooter Gennett. Second baseman leads off. A youngster, just 22. Minor league camp. He's from Sarasota, Florida. He's been in the organization 3 years. Here's his marks last year at Huntsville, but he's hit 300 in his 3-year minor league career. Punches one by Ransom into left field. Boy, the left-handed hitters going the opposite way today, aren't they? Base hit for Gennett. He's 7 for 31 now this spring. Brings up the pitcher, Peralta.
Well, he can hit a little bit. He's not really big in stature, but he swings a hot shillelagh. A little bit of power numbers in the minor leagues, and Cody Ransom playing in, off the bag, in on the grass, shortens up the range.
So there, you young players and your coach is talking about, use your speed, be able to bunt. He has a reputation of bunting for hits. So Ransom playing in on the grass, if he's back in a normal position, that's a fairly easy out. Peralta, see if he's going to sacrifice. He can swing the lumber. Now he's going to bunt, and right back to Stoltz. Lay goes to first base to Jerko, and Gennett moves up on the sacrifice bunt. 1-4.
Get it out there, pitchers. It's early in the ball game. Sure, it's spring training, but a key is not to try to overthrow to second base. That creates havoc for the inning, a big inning. And another thing that I'd like to point out, Eric Stoltz on that play, he turns towards his glove hand side. That's always key. He gloved it, spun on the side of his glove. It's an easier throw, a more fluid throw to first base for the out. Watch how he fields it. Spin towards the glove hand side. If he spins the other way, he's got to spin all the way around to throw to first base.
So if you're a right-handed pitcher, it's okay to backhand.
Exactly. Right.
You're right there to throw to first. Oki, the leadoff hitter. Grounded out to shortstop Cabrera first time up. Marichka hit .288 as a rookie last year, a 30-year-old rookie. Breaking ball at 68 miles an hour.
There it is.
Tantalizer. I love that pitch.
Oh, yeah. You'll get not the double toe tap, but the triple toe tap from the hitter, waiting for that ball to get on top of you.
Line to center. Maven playing in the right spot for the out. It's almost like slow pitch in softball, and a lot of our fans listening have played slow pitch, and it's just, oh, this is going to be easy, and they throw that thing up, and you're following the arc, and will it ever get here?
And I think the key there, Dick, is what? You have to let the ball travel, right? You have to let the ball get to you in the hitting zone. If you start lunging towards it, you're going to jam yourself. You're going to top it.
Even the major league hitters have had difficulty with Stoltz's off-speed curve. So 2 out to Donnie Murphy. He grounded to short his first at bat. Jeanette at second. Padres lead 2-0. Off speed in the dirt. That was the changeup. Well, they keep statistics on just about everything, including every pitch you throw in the big leagues.
Another changeup there, Dick.
So let's go to last year, and here's Stoltz's variety.
We talked about it in the open, the fastball, the changeup, the slider, occasional curve. There you see the fewest times that he threw the curveball, only 10.2% of the time. So most like a lot of pitchers, you're going to rely on number one and locating that fastball.
So 10% would figure 1 or 2 times an inning, 2 times an inning.
Right.
You'd throw that one up there. There it is, and it's hit high to right field. Kotze giving ground, still going back, and that ball is gone. Off the bat of Donnie Murphy, that ball carrying just as Ransom's home run to right field did. And the Brewers tie it up as Murphy checks in at home plate. It's 2-2.
Well, the count was 1-1. He just threw him a changeup, and Donnie Murphy batting from the right side against lefty. Big leg kick, keeps the hands back. They let that ball travel a little bit. Boy, that ball was back by almost by his back knee almost, and takes it the opposite way. And put your shirts on, guys, please.
2-2 as Jeanette scores in front of Murphy's home run. Chris Davis, the batter. He has been the home run hitter for the Brewers this spring with 6. He takes a home run swing.
Now it's about Eric Stoltz bouncing back. 86-mile-an-hour fastball, quickly hit 0-2. That's a good sign.
Talk about the fastball. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, describes the Stoltz fastball as Buddy Black minus 3 miles an hour.
Yeah, Buddy threw a little harder, a little bit more firm.
Balsley there with the bubble gum next to the skipper. He said he throws it hardest. That last pitch was the high fastball. He can get it about 90 miles an hour there, not for a strike, but in the strike zone around 97, 90, or rather 88, 87, 90 for the waist pitch up high. Couple of home runs today on this Sunday run day.
He shook off 5 signs there. Fastball in, fastball away, slider, changeup.
Changeup off the head of the bat. A spinner to Alonso. Stoltz covering. That's it for the Brewers in the third, but a double by Jeanette and a 2-run sock by Murphy to tie it up at 2. Padres will hit from the top of the order in the last of the third. as we move to the bottom of the third. Top of the order, Cabrera, Katse, and Alonso for the Padres. And joining us down in the dugout, back from the World Baseball Classic as a member of the USA team, Luke Gregerson. We were just talking with Edinson Vólquez, and he's still vibrating about what an exciting experience that was. How about you, Luke?
Yeah, it was a tremendous experience. I was very honored to be able to represent the country, Team USA, and I had a great time.
Best thought of the whole experience, Luke? What do you think it was?
Honestly, it was just being out there on the mound, being able to wear USA across your chest, and going out there and get to battle against some of the top players in the country and the world.
They say that whether it's the Olympics or any international competition, that when they play the national anthem and you got USA on the front of your uniform, it's a little different experience.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, actually. I wasn't, don't know if I really anticipated how intense it was going to be when you get out there and you start, like you said, the national anthem, just seeing all the other players out there, your teammates who you play against during the season. And for a time during spring training, you're not really ready for that kind of intensity at that moment.
Now you come back to the club and you've had 5 outings, an inning each, 5 times, and you haven't allowed a hit. So obviously you must feel ready for the big show to begin.
Absolutely, yeah. I had to get ready a little sooner this year, just for obvious reasons. But I don't really think that I had to do anything too much extra, and I feel fresh. I feel strong. Everything's working well out here, and just keep moving forward.
Your slider, do you feel here in Arizona it's one of those pitches that maybe might break like it would during the regular season? And if so, is it something that really bothers you? Is it really a concern?
Not really, actually. I feel like when you're in certain areas like Arizona or Colorado, I feel like it's just more of a time to really make sure you execute, finish the pitch, make sure you really do what you're trying to do. Sometimes you get a ball coming in. Sometimes you can get away with it in other places where you feel like you hang it, but it still breaks anyways. Out here, you really got to make sure you throw it to make sure it moves.
So, where would be the ideal situation for that slider to act the way you want it? Is there a park or how about cold weather? How does it work in cold weather? You're going to be facing some of that in the east.
Yeah, the cold doesn't really seem to bother me too much. Once you get out there, you get warm. As long as you got a good grip on the ball, I think it's everything will take care of itself.
Luke, you had a busy offseason. You traveled abroad to Germany, I believe it was, right? How was that experience?
It was awesome. Yeah, we went to Germany. We flew into Nuremberg, and we stayed at Grafenwehr military base, and did some, PTs in the mornings early at 6 a.m. with all the troops. Snowing the whole time. Got to ride in some of the different vehicles they had out there, do some simulator training, hung out with the kids at the schools. It was a great time.
Yeah, we were looking at some of the film clips of the Fox Sports special, the half-hour special that they edited that documents your experience. And it's once again, as you were a couple of years ago voted the Community Man of the Year for the Padres. I know that you're not only proud about being a Padre, but anything you can do for the military, you're first in line.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a great opportunity here being with the Padres, especially, we got all the military bases close by. And, starting doing that with these guys here really kind of piqued my interest. And, when I got the opportunity to go to Germany, I jumped right on it.
Luke, I look at your career as a Padre, 80 games in 2010. You were in 77 games last year. Seems like you've got a rubber arm. Now, for youngsters out there, for pitchers, is there anything that you do? Are you just blessed with a rubber arm to where you can go out and throw?
I try to do everything I can to make sure that my arm stays healthy, get in the gym, whatever light workouts I can do for my shoulders. I'm in the training room all the time working with our trainers. They like to really be hands-on in there, and I feel like they do a good job keeping our arms loose. And I think it's just a combination of all those things that just works together to keep me healthy.
A ridiculous final question. You sleep on the right side, your pitching arm side?
No, I sleep on the left.
Okay.
I think you already knew the answer to that one.
Thanks, Luke. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate it.
Good luck, Luke. Thanks.
Thank you.
What a good guy.
Yes.
Luke Gregerson. And he's been just perfect in spring training. 5 outings, 5 innings, no runs, no hits. Katse up, infield hit for Cabrera, and then the throwing error by the shortstop, Murphy. So the Padres try to reclaim the lead as Katse works Peralta for a walk. That's the first base on balls from the Milwaukee right-hander. 2 on, no one out to Yonder Alonso, who sent a wedge shot double down the left field line to knock in Katse in the first inning. Katse, too, had clipped the foul line with his punch shot. 9 RBIs now for the spring for Alonso, and they've come in the last 9 games.
You know, Dick, we've often talked this spring about Corey Lukey, Joe Whelan, now Casey Kelly having Tommy John surgery. Well, Willie Peralta at the age of 18 for the Brewers, he had Tommy John surgery, and looks like he's bounced back quite nicely in his professional career.
Yeah, so young kid, yeah, 23. Pulled to first. The throw for 1, back to first, thrown away. Here comes Cabrera from third, and he will score. It's 3-2. That would have been a double play, but shortstop Donnie Murphy commits his second error of the inning.
Tough inning for Murphy.
No RBI, of course.
And no cloverleaf in his back pocket as he throws this one away. Plenty of time, just works under. You know what? That error should go to Peralta after a second look. That was right in the breadbasket of Peralta. How he did not catch that, I will never know. So tough error if they choose to keep it E6. Tough error for Murphy.
That's how it's scored at the moment, as the Padres get a gift run, lead it 3-2. Alonso safe at first, and Guzman, who fouled out, is the batter. And the Padres scoring a run in each of the first 3 innings. Milwaukee countering with a 2-run homer top half of this third by Donnie Murphy. Breaking ball in for a strike. So 4 games to go after today here in Peoria. And then the Padres will fly to San Antonio for games Friday and Saturday. Both of those games will be televised here on Fox Sports San Diego. And then Saturday night into New York. Season opener Monday. And we're pleased that we'll be bringing you all the action throughout the season. You won't miss a game here on Fox Sports San Diego or national telecasts on Fox Sports. Home and away. Two and 1 to Guzman. Line to left, base hit. Solidly struck by Guzman. Alonso stops at second. Padres aren't done yet here in the third.
Take advantage of that throwing error. Keep the inning going, and Guzman got an elevated pitch. The ball's right down the middle. And once again, the sound of the ball at the bat hitting the sweet spot and hitting a mistake. I mentioned that about Alonso earlier. Guzman take advantage of a bad pitch from Peralta.
Jerko took a third strike his first time. First and second occupied with 2 outs. Starts him with a slider. When you grow up in this game at various levels and say you're wild, it means you're usually not throwing strikes. But when you get to the big leagues, what you don't want to be is wild in the strike zone.
Exactly. That means throwing it right in that area where knee high, belt buckle high. You know, if you split the plate into three sections, right, Dick? The inner third, the outer third, and then you got the middle. If you're at the knees and the belt buckle and you're in that middle, you're going to get knocked around.
Ted Williams had that graph to show that's the 400 area.
That's
there.
right.
So Jerko behind on the count, 2 strikes, and takes another strike 3. So he's been caught looking twice by Peralta. The only strikeouts for Willie Peralta today. So 2 away to Cameron Maben.
You know, the body language of Jed Jerko tells me this. On 2 occasions, as you mentioned, Dick, the first at bat and now this one, it looks like he may have had another pitch in the back of his mind because 2 fastballs, he's been caught looking.
That one looked a little low. Plate umpire Quinn Wolcott, Jersey Joe, saw it as a strike. Maben grounded to short his first time. Some of the umpires behind the screen there didn't think that was a strike, as you could hear. Nubbed up the middle. Seeing eye single for Maben. That'll chase home Alonso, and the Padres lead 4-2.
Well, if you get that key 2-out knock, I don't care if it's spring training with a runner in scoring position, that is always key. It keeps the momentum going. Good for Cameron Maben. Little toe tap, not a big high kick, but just beats it into the ground. And as I mentioned, the ball just under the ball of Murphy. It's a hard surface out there. It's spring training. That ball scoots through. Yeah, hit it on the ground. Take advantage of that.
So it's an inning that started with the infield hit by Cabrera and a throwing error by the shortstop Murphy, a walk. Fielder's choice that should have been a double play, but an error on that. They didn't turn it as Maben comes out, and they'll use a runner here. And then Guzman single kept the inning alive until Maben rolled that well-aimed single to center field. We'll see whether or not Maben has taken himself out of this game. Might have come up a little ouchy after running that out. Alex Smith from the minor league camp is running for him. So I guess he'll stay in center field, Smith. First and second, still 2 gone. Ransom homered the last time up. Can't hold a swing on that one. So Maben has been plagued by that sore wrist last year and again in spring training. Maybe the way he hit that ball might have impacted that area. It's just a possibility. Let's hope nothing serious. Try to get a report for you. Get Kelly on the case. At the knees, 1 and 2.
I do remember that first at bat for Cody Ransom in the second inning, staying on that ball nicely and taking advantage of the wind and the environs here in spring training. You hit it on the sweet spot, it'll go.
That one just cleared the fence in right field for Ransom's 4th home run of the spring. That ties him for the club lead with Yonder Alonso. Arizona native, Chandler, Arizona high school. Arizona State.
Sun Devils.
That bird that just came through the booth, I thought he said Sun Devils.
What kind of bird was it?
Maybe a Thunderbird, huh?
That would be appropriate. Yeah. By the way, ASU, Packard Stadium, they're not going to be playing there anymore. They're playing at Phoenix Muni. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's the better conditions, better ballpark.
Yeah, probably also more property for the university to grow to build.
That's true as well. Yeah.
Or classrooms. So a full count with 2 outs. The runners will be off with this delivery to Ransom. Guzman at second. Pinch runner Alex Smith at first base. Oh, that ball's hit high and hard. Way back to right. He doesn't clear the wall this time, and that seemed harder hit than the one that went out. Even Ransom quizzically looking out there as the right fielder Aoki made the catch.
Dad, I noticed when you stay with us, you never
Diego, top of the fourth, Padres on top 4-2. I am now joined by Corey Brock, MLB writer, beat writer for the Padres, and every day now it seems like, Corey, we are talking to Buddy Black, asking him who's the starter going to be, who's going to be the fifth guy in the rotation. Today we got a little news on that, right?
Yeah, the room is getting thinner, as Buddy likes to say. Started out with 67 guys in camp. We're down to 39 now. Freddie Garcia was given his release earlier today. Freddie struggled. He came in on a minor league contract. His secondary pitches, the changeup, the cutter, the slider, all very good, but had trouble with his fastball and fastball command. So he's out of the picture now. I think it really paves the way for either Tyson Ross or Andrew Cashner in that number 5 spot.
Who would you give maybe the front running position to out of those guys?
I think with Cashner, it's going to be close because of his timeline as far as building his endurance, his stamina. At this point, I like Tyson Ross. He's been very good this spring. Ran his scoreless inning streak to 15 1/3 his last time out. You've seen the big arm, Kelly. 96 miles an hour. Secondary pitches continue to get better. So I think you could do far worse with than Tyson Ross as your number 5.
Yeah, he looked pretty good yesterday, 2 days ago, I should say, Friday. But now, one of the other top storylines for the Padres, Chase Headley will miss the beginning of the season, so that third base spot is kind of open. Buddy Black's brought up possibly moving Logan Forsythe over to the third base side. He looked good today.
Yeah, Logan's playing in a minor league game as we speak, and if we could be in 2 places at once, Kelly, I guess we would be standing over there watching him. My understanding is he hit a home run today. The swing isn't the big thing for him. It's how his foot feels. He has the plantar fasciitis, which I'm becoming better.
I'm glad you said that.
You know that one. That's an NBA injury. So it's he's getting better with that. He's going to play in the field a few innings today. Kelly, I still think he will be the opening day third baseman.
With that being said, one of the things Buddy Black told us a couple days ago was that the defense is something he expects to be a strong positive note for this team.
Well, yeah, and especially when you have a starting rotation that doesn't have a lot of guys who miss bats. And by that, I mean a lot of high strikeout guys. There's really an emphasis on defense. Pitching and defense, that's been the Padres' calling card for as long as I've covered them. And this will be my 7th year. So you really need some guys that could convert balls and play in outs. And that starts with having a solid infield.
And I feel like we've covered a lot of the X's and O's, Corey. I want to get to just this ballpark. Great people watching, great food watching. We just saw an elephant ear go by, guys. Oh my gosh, made me so hungry.
Yeah, we were standing here for a half inning, and all we saw were people walking in front of us with food. And there was some sort of noodles and rice and something. But you're right, that elephant ear with that powdered sugar.
Yeah, serious grub out here, guys. Thank you so much, Corey, for being with us.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly.
Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Kel, thanks, and good report there from Corey Brock about Logan Forsythe hitting a home run, so he's getting close to returning to action. He hasn't played 3 weeks he's been out. And how about this play by second baseman Jed Jerko? You think he's not going to be able to cover the ground at second? Makes this one look fairly easy. Pops to his feet, throws him out.
We saw him at third base the other night go to shallow left center field for a high pop fly, and going to his left there. Bud Black said he looks very comfortable when he comes to the ballpark. You can put him anywhere, and that's an advantage for these Padres.
So a couple of ground outs to second from Eric Stoltz's delivery. And here's Sean Halton. He sent a long out to right his first time up. And the count 1-1 on him. Padres lead it 4-2. Our final television game from Peoria. Folks here northwest of Phoenix have treated us royally as always. Sharing this complex with the Seattle Mariners. They love to talk baseball and come out and cheer their favorite teams, and you can do that 2 games a day down here. You just look at the schedule. You can take a week and see 7 days, 14 games.
Yep.
You go to a day affair in one place, a night game somewhere else, and I think the longest distance between any complex is maybe an hour drive, hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, depending on traffic, you're absolutely right. That's one of the great things about Cactus League.
Another ground ball. It's Ransom into the hole to throw him out. That is an Eric Stoltz inning. 1, 2, 3, all on ground outs. The Padres lead at 4-2. Alonso slicing a fly ball double down the left field side, scored Mark Kotze in the first inning for a 1-0 lead. Then Cody Ransom goes long to right field for his 4th home run of the year. 2-0 Padres. That one tied up when Donnie Murphy of the Brewers went in the same spot, a 2-run blast, and it was tied at 2. Padres got another run when Cameron Maven, with a seeing eye single to center, brought Alonso home. Padres had scored earlier in that inning on a missed double play by the Brewer infield, and so there you stand at 4-2 Padres, 4-6-0 for San Diego, 3-2 for the visitors from Milwaukee.
Oh, you love the extra base power, huh? A few singles mixed in with an extra base hit, a home run by Cody Ransom.
John Baker starts it in the bottom of the 4th inning, then Stultz and Cabrera.
Come on, John.
Anyone have Ransom and pick the stick today?
I don't think so.
We're starting to rehearse that and get ourselves in form. And guess who picked Cody Ransom?
Kelly Kroll.
Yeah.
Fernando's not down here.
So she's going to be dangerous this year. Line drive, left center field, slicing in front of the left fielder Chris Davis. Baker has a base hit. Oh, the left-handed hitters, one after another. Even the right-handed hitters, the 2 home runs to the opposite field, and most of the base hits have been to the opposite field, especially by the left-handed hitters.
Oh, that's a good sign. Try not to pull the ball against Peralta. You try to pull the ball against the young right-hander, it's going to result in a 4-3 weak ground ball to the right side. Nice job by these hitters.
Stultz up there to sacrifice, and then pulls the bat back, and it's a Butcher Boy chop, and that has
love it.
The runner going and stays out of the double play. So there's Bud Black with a man who can handle the bat well. Stultz, fake the bunt and take the little chop at it.
I love it. You get movement on the infield, and then all of a sudden that pitcher pulls back the bat. You need a pitcher up there who has proven in the past that you can make contact. And the key, not just contact on the ground. If you hit that in the air, it doesn't do you any good. Runner's got to go back.
And moves the runner into scoring position, Baker, and brings up the leadoff man, Cabrera. Infield hit his last time up and scored. Oh, that one bouncing off the mask of Maldonado, but Baker not advancing to third. That landed almost in the grass in front of home plate.
Kind of a tough vantage point for the runner, John Baker, at second base, because that ball went directly behind from his vantage point, Maldonado. So you really don't get a good idea of, right to left. Now, imagine you're John Baker, right? And then you see the ball go here. Well, maybe he just wanted to play it safe. Didn't want to get thrown out at third base and then have 2 outs.
Cabrera tried to wave him over to third. Pickoff move into center field.
That'll get him over.
And in safely at third is Baker. On the throwing error by pitcher Peralta. That's the 3rd miscue from the Brewers today.
I'm just glad John Baker didn't get that in the face or in the head on that throw. Watch this throw from Peralta. He yanks it, and thank goodness that didn't hit him. That would have been nasty.
That was right between Murphy and
or in the wrist.
Yeah.
Right,
So with 1 out, Padres have a chance to pick up a bonus run here, leading 4-2. The infield will come in for Milwaukee. Davis and Murphy on the left side. Jeanette and Hilton on the right. The squeeze play, and it doesn't work. You've got to make contact. The suicide is just that. That's why they call it the suicide squeeze. Baker coming in. Cabrera has to make contact.
No matter where the pitch is thrown. If it's out of the zone, you throw your bat at it. Cabrera needs to make contact. If you foul it up, you know what? That's a very buntable pitch, too. Yeah. That was right down the middle.
And he handles the bat well enough. I'm sure Cabrera unhappy with himself.
Now, you could tell when he did not make contact and Baker was tagged out, his reaction was just that. He should have made contact on that.
Yeah, the manager's going to put that play on because he trusts you. That you are a good punter. You can make contact. You don't want to run into and out at home plate. So that's what spring training's all about. It's a learning lesson, even though it's with a veteran player like Cabrera.
And we've seen a lot of plays like that Buddy Black wants to, rehearse in spring training. Like from a pitcher's standpoint, how many we've seen a couple times where the pitcher has the timing play to pick off the third base, right? Because you can't fake that anymore. where as soon as the pitcher lifts his leg, the third baseman is on his way with the runner on third for the pickoff throw. We've seen that a number of times as well.
Well, and Peralta throwing the ball in the center field, and yes, it's an error in a spring training game, but you've got to work on the pickoff move. You want better results. It's all part of the preseason. Cabrera that throws the bat away as if in disgust with himself, but does earn a 2-out walk here in the 4th inning. Padres individual game tickets, folks, they're on sale right now at Petco. You can get your tickets there, or to all the big games, including opening day and the Yankees' first visit to Petco Park, by buying your tickets at Padres.com or call 619-795-5555. And remember, when you buy your tickets early, you save at Petco. Opening day, opening series against the Dodgers. 2 weeks from Tuesday. Let's see if Cabrera tries to steal, just to put a little salve on the wound after failing. Oh, almost picked off. Good throw by Peralta.
Very quick. Quick with his feet, quick with his hands.
National League swipe champion Cabrera with 44 steals last year. Ahead of Michael Bourne of Atlanta. First time ever a Padre led the National League in stolen bases. Katse, a bloop double and a walk today. Got him this time. Not a good inning for Everth Cabrera. He busts the suicide squeeze and is picked off. That's when you turn and look to the outfield. You don't even want to look into the dugout. It'll be better.
He doesn't leave any stone unturned. Even in a spring training game, he's prepared physically and mentally. There's an assurance there that he's going about it the right way in between starts. And when the game starts, he's doing everything that he needs to do to be successful.
So if you compress those comments from Bud Black about Eric Stoltz, it all comes out. He's a professional pitcher.
Absolutely, and that's something that Buddy Black can, when he pencils his name in once every 5 days, feel comfortable. And like you said, he's smart. His baseball aptitude, he knows what to do to be prepared. That makes it easier on the manager as well.
Goes into the 5th inning, 8 ground ball outs. Another word used to describe Stoltz as instinctive. Both Buddy and Darren Balsley. That ball hit well to left field, giving ground and misplaying it. Guzman unable to come up with the ball, and racing to third is Davis. No, he's going to put on the brakes and go back to second base. So that ball carrying better today than any day this spring here in Peoria, and the outfielders kind of easing back on some of those fly balls and have been fooled by how well they've carried.
Well, Jesus Guzman knows the way that the track is playing today, right? He knows that the ball is traveling. So when that ball is up in the air, with the sound of the ball off the bat, he should probably retreat quickly back to the track and then adjust. He kind of floated, kind of drifted, and let the ball play him.
Another left-handed hitter going to the opposite field. Here's Scooter Gennett. He went to left field. A base hit his first time up. Slapping it by the third baseman Ransom. Pops it up, and that'll be out of play. Baker coming back to take a look, and it just into that first row. $80 degrees plus here in Peoria today. Not a cloud to be found. Typical spring training, perfect baseball day. Padres and the Brewers. San Diego in front 4-2 here in the top of the 5th inning, but Blake Davis out at second base with the leadoff double. Goes after an off-speed pitch out of the strike zone, but that's when you have that mixology, you got those hitters guessing.
That was either a changeup or a slider because it had a break down and away to Gennett. Sometimes a changeup can act as a little slider or down and in, lefty on lefty. There's a breaking ball.
Tried to get him to chase. Well, the March Madness continues, and a lot of folks out here in the West have migrated from the Midwest and Big Ten country, and the Big Ten already has 4 of the 16 spots in the Sweet 16. Michigan State won yesterday. Ohio State, a tight one today, and Indiana, a close one with Temple. They have advanced as well. Again, left field. And Guzman there to make the catch, tagging and trying to advance, and the throw won't be in time as Davis pulls into third. As Gennett gets the runner over on the fly out to left field.
Now on that ball that was struck, I was watching Jesus Guzman. His first step back towards the gap. Then you can adjust.
Well, here's Peralta. The Padres tried the suicide squeeze in the last half of the 4th inning, and here's a situation where we'll see whether or not acting manager Mike Guerrero tries the squeeze with 1 out, and a good runner Davis at third. Infield will play in at the corners, anticipating a possible bunt, and Baker just saved the run with that block behind home plate. Those go unnoticed in the score sheet in the box score. Those catchers are so invaluable to be able to smother pitches in the dirt, and there seems to be more and more of those. More of the slider is being used. Breaking pitches. Hitters chasing. Peralta can't find that one.
I have to laugh because that last pitch and that swing was almost like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It was only 85 on the radar gun. Way behind it. Peralta a little tardy on the 85-mile-an-hour cheese from Eric Stoltz.
Bring back any memories.
Yes. A lot of swings and misses.
Fouls this one off.
Hey fans, follow the Padres with MLB.com at bat for your iPhone, iPad, or Android. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and much, much more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. Stay in tune, stay in touch.
So ahead on the count now, 1-2 is Stoltz as he tries to take care of the opposing pitcher. Always good to see the youngsters out at the ballpark.
Life is good. Wearing the uni to a ball game, having some pizza, having some snacks. Got to hydrate, drink that water, and most importantly, watch out for those foul balls.
There's that high fastball at 88, just out of the strike zone. Peralta doesn't offer, and now this is the pitch that Stoltz wants to strike him out. What's he going to go?
I say changeup.
Even with the pitcher, changeup?
There it is. Cambio.
You know your stuff.
I don't know about that.
That's a strikeout, and his second. Cameron Maven left the game after an RBI single earlier. Kelly, do you have a report on the injury?
Yes, the update from the dugout is just that manager Bud Black wanted to give Cameron a slight break, so he just pulled him and put in a pinch runner there for him, but nothing injury-wise related to that.
Oh, that's good news. Come in with that is good news anytime you want. So Maben, just one of those situations where he's seen enough action, got a couple of at-bats today. High fly ball to left field, and Guzman on his horse again, and can't make the play. Smith backs him up. The run scores as Aoki again opposite field hitting. An RBI double. 4-3. The Padre lead is reduced by 1.
Now this time Jesus Guzman, his first step was towards the gap rather than going straight back. Now he's got to make up that ground by initially going to his left. And there's no worse feeling as an outfielder when you get on your horse and you're trying to go, go, go. You are sprinting and that ball just beats you and it's over your head.
So that's the 5th hit for Milwaukee today, all 5 to the opposite field, including doubles here by Davis and Aoki, and the home run by Murphy going the opposite way. Murphy up after a ground out to short, the home run to right field, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. That ball's hit well down the left field line, hooking into the corner and off the fence, halfway up the fence. That'll tie it up on another double as Murphy, a home run and a double and 3 RBIs for the Brewers as they tie it up at 4. 3 doubles in the inning. Aoki scoring. And the Brewers a chance to take the lead here as Chris Davis steps up.
I mentioned earlier Guzman at the plate, Alonso at the plate, taking advantage of mistakes. That was a mistake by Stultz, and Donnie Murphy all over it, swinging the bat well this afternoon. And Jesus Guzman's getting a workout out there in left field.
Sure is. Murphy had only 3 RBIs the entire spring. He has 3 in 5 innings today. There's the slow curveball, line just foul. Just enough in front. Davis to hook that one beyond the foul line as he flirts with a 2-base hit.
As a left-handed pitcher, that being Eric Stultz, you have to be careful with the right-handed hitters when you throw that off-speed stuff, especially the slow breaking balls. It'll speed up their bat and they'll flirt with that left field line.
And he throws a fastball right through the swing of Davis. Brewers with 6 hits, 5 of them extra bases, 4 doubles and a 2-run homer. Got him on the foul tip. A couple of strikeouts in the inning, but also 3 doubles from the Brewers for a couple of runs. The halfway mark, tied at 4. As we were talking to Luke Gregerson, this year Fox Sports brought spring training to the troops. Players from around the league, including Luke Gregerson and Fox Sports San Diego girl Katie. An inside look at one of the Army's premier training bases, U.S. Army Garrison Grafenwehr. That's near Munich, Germany. You'll see them put to the test alongside our U.S. soldiers. Oh, they got up early 6 a.m. and went through all the physical training. Fox Sports salutes the troops tomorrow at 6 on Fox Sports San Diego. There's an Illini fan out there.
They're still alive in the tournament, right?
The Big Ten contingent that's doing so well. And don't forget San Diego State later this afternoon against the
Coasters.
Come on, Bart.
The Eagles, like Florida Gulf Coast. Katse leads it off and takes the count to 2-0. I mean, you're talking about all the schools in Florida. I mean, you got Florida, Florida State, Miami. Then you've got all the geographicals, the north, the central. You got the south. You got, and the Florida Pacific is next.
Yes, I agree. Wouldn't that be something? Florida Pacific.
Katse, 3-1 the count, so he can look for his pitch against Willie Peralta. Peralta has given up 4 runs on 7 hits. They've, even though there's been 3 errors behind him, all the 4 runs are earned. And ball 4, leadoff walk. Yonder Alonso steps up, 4 home runs this spring. Here's Yonder's thoughts.
I feel like I'm more comfortable. I think in the second half of the year, I learned a whole lot in the first half. And the second half, I just took advantage of all the things that I have gone through in the first half, and my power went up. You know, I hit more doubles, but hopefully this year I made some mechanics, things that I had to correct. And I think my ball's carrying a lot more, a lot smoother, a lot more consistent. I feel like those doubles are going to turn into homers.
That's a good prediction, isn't it? You know, he led the Major League rookies in doubles with 39 last year. Turned some of those, about 10 of those, into home runs. That'd be a 20 home run year for him.
And one of the specifics he was talking about, Mark Sweeney made the note the other day when I was talking to him about how he's controlling the bat head, creating backspin on that ball, right, to create lift. And therefore, hopefully, more home runs. Just the bottom line for Yonder is keep those mechanics intact, because then the hits will come, the doubles will come, the home runs will come.
He's a very intelligent guy, and he said, you know, he learned with each at bat. The second half of the season was a different story. You know, Chase Headley talked about that same thing, getting that. It's not an uppercut; it's just getting backspin on the ball. He said, you think about hitting the ball 3 times. That you hit it here, and then a little bit in front of there, and then a little bit in front of there. So you're following through on your swing. It helps to get that underspin.
Like I'm not a golfer, but it's almost like a knockdown wedge, right? When you hit a wedge, like a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, you hit down on it, you get that backspin, so when it hits, it retreats back towards the hole. And of course, I'm in the water and the sand.
That one lifted foul territory, and a tough chance, and unable to make the play is Blake Davis. There's a home run that he hit about 425 feet last night, and we'll slow it down for you so you can appreciate.
High slider, getting to it nicely.
That's a beautiful swing. Compact.
Yeah, when you see the barrel of the bat, the ball on contact, it actually is coming kind of down on that baseball a little bit, creating that backspin.
A ball, 2 strikes on Yonder. Katse with the leadoff walk at first. Game tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Oh, he got all of that one. See how far that one flies. Oh, my, into the Kona VIP stand. Hold on to your margaritas and your Mai Tais. Here comes Yonder. 5-4 as Katse scores, and 6-4 as Alonso checks in with his 5th home run of the year. Right on cue. This was not rehearsed, folks. This was not a rehearsal. He just happened to follow through on exactly what we have been talking about.
Another mistake by Peralta. He wanted it down and in. It's middle in, belt buckle high. He doesn't need any backspin on this one. Boy, getting through it, catching it out in front, giving it a ride, and as you mentioned, Dick, into the Kona VIP deck.
Now, we haven't seen many balls hit that far in any spring.
Excuse me, sir. There's a ball in my margarita.
Just broke up my umbrella in the Mai Tai.
Man, that ball was crushed. It's got to be at least 420.
Well, it's about it's
340 down the line.
And it's a little bit off the line. So let's say it's 350 when it clears the bullpen. The bullpen is another, what, 30 feet? So that's 3.
I'm guessing like 420.
70, and then another 50 feet to the VIP deck. Yeah. That was almost in the San Diego office building.
Yeah.
6-4 Padres, a home run day, a fun day Sunday. There's run day in Peoria. Guzman has a sharp single to left field in his 2 at-bats. Off the head of the bat foul. Yeah, the Padres, well, they're hitting close on today. Scored in 4 of the 5 innings. A couple of home runs and a 6-4 lead. Strike 3. The slider caught the outside corner, says plate umpire Wolcott. And Peralta has his 3rd strikeout.
Good tilt, power slider. Mentioned earlier in the scouting report, the secondary pitches need a little bit of work, but they will come. That one surely was thrown nicely on the outside corner for the called strike.
Jed Jerko has looked at 2 called strike 3s in his 2 at-bats. All 3 of Peralta's strikeouts called. Like to see this young second baseman from West Virginia tie into one. Ripped to right field, base hit. Now there was a case of a hitter letting the ball come into him a little more. Yep. You know, not being out in front, waiting for it, getting it into the hitting zone, and just smacking it where it was pitched.
It almost looked like he was going to get jammed, Dick. And as we take a look, see him get his hands through. He gets his hands through nicely to get the barrel of the bat on the ball and hits that ball sharply to the right side. If he has a sweeping action and gets his hands out in front of him, where a big loop in his swing, he's going to get jammed, and it's probably going to be a broken bat and 1 hopper back to the pitcher.
So every regular in the lineup today for Bud Black has a hit, with Alonso leading the way with an RBI double and a 2-run homer.
Beauty.
The throw to first won't be in time. Young Malik Smith beats out a bunt. All right, welcome to the big club.
That was pretty.
He's replaced Cameron Maven, beats out a bunt single, and that again a minor leaguer doing some damage. You know, the minor leaguers are hitting .351 in all the major league games.
Good bat control, and with everybody moving, the first baseman converging, the second baseman, the pitcher trying to get it, the race is on. It's the speed that is the big difference. Not only the placement of the baseball bunted, but the speed.
Jerko moves to second base on the bunt single. As the Padres now in double figures in that hit column, we'll see whether or not the acting manager Mike Guerrero is going to make a pitching change here. Tom Gorzolani, a veteran left-hander, is out there in the pen. That's Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach. And apparently Peralta said, no, I still got some fuel left here. Let me try to get out of this inning. Padres leadoff walk to Kotze, and as so often happens, that lights the fuse. Alonso a 2-run home run after he struck out Guzman, line single Jerko to right, and the bunt single by young Malik Smith. Here's Ransom.
Well, what a great idea by Smith, huh? Kind of catching him off guard a little bit, utilizing that speed. And once again, the key is they're putting it on the ground. If you pop that up, chances are it's going to be caught. So, hey, a good day at the big league spring training complex for Smith.
Again, that'll raise the minor league average from .351 at the start today. They just, when they bring those kids over, they are all producing. That's a good sign as we look ahead to the seasons at Fort Wayne and Lake Elsinore, San Antonio, and Tucson, the minor league system. Eugene later in the summer. Padres sent Nick Vincent to the minor league camp today. He's been troubled by a sore arm and trying to get that in shape. So just as Bud Black said, his spring training is starting now. Right-hander from San Diego. Ransom goes down swinging. That's the 4th strikeout and brings up John Baker. Baker is lined to left and single to left.
You know, Dick, you talked about Nick Vincent going on to the other side. And I tell you what, from experience, it's not fun because it's a totally different world. You go to the big league clubhouse, you go to the minor league clubhouse. It's just totally different. The food is different. The unis are different. The meal money is different. The atmosphere is different.
No, yeah, it's always the third reason. You said meal money, right? Al McGuire said that you start getting a lid. It's always the third reason.
And that's why you have to stay mentally tough. You got to stay hungry. You got to want it. Sure, you can mope around and you can, it's easy to do that. Show your coaching staff something. Go down there, throw lights out, get healthy, and then hopefully you're back to the big leagues.
But it is an emotional adjustment.
Oh, yes,
you've got to
it
say,
is.
you've got to have a huge emotional sink.
Yep.
And then you have to recover and say, okay, what am I made of? Baker, fly ball to right. Aoki makes the play, and the Padres are gone in the 5th. The big blow, a 2-run home run by Alonso. And this almost qualifies in the tape measure category. His 5th of the spring, and the Padres reclaim the lead. Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Get away for the day at the close and friendly Sequan Casino, celebrating 30 years of gaming in San Diego. Padres leading 6-4 as we move on to the 6th inning. Checking around the National League West, of course, Chase Headley, bad news, the fractured thumb, out 4 to 6 weeks. He'll miss undoubtedly all of the month of April. But Hanley Ramirez of the Dodgers, the shortstop, that thumb injury even worse. Fracture, it doesn't sound right. The fracture isn't as serious as a tendon or a ligament. Yeah, and that's what Ramirez is going to. He may be out more than 8 weeks.
Right.
And that's a big blow. Adam Eaton out. He's got elbow injury. Throwing came up with it's almost like a pitcher with a bad elbow. And he might be out 2 months, and that's after Kevin Towers made those 2 big trades. Upton and Young traded away 2 of the outfielders. Eaton was going to be their starting center fielder and leadoff man.
We saw him last year, what he brought to the table, his speed. He was a spark plug of a player, played very hard, and had a lot of production last year for the Diamondbacks the time he was there.
And the other replacement, Cody Ross, he's not been able to play much this spring because of a calf injury. So Arizona, they too have their injury problems. Maldonado, a long double. And a hit taken away from him by shortstop Jed Jerko, who ranged into the hole to make that sliding play and throw him out. 1-2 as Eric Stoltz goes into his 6th inning of work. Travis Buck takes over from Mark Kotze in right field. Slow curve, and that fooled Maldonado, the play made at first base. 4 strikeouts for Stoltz.
No, it's time for the Sequan Casino Daycation highlight of the game. This strikeout here, we talked about the curveball. That's more the harder curveball from Eric Stoltz, but it's the placement. He buried it, trusting his catcher, John Baker, to smother it for the 2-3 putout. Nice pitch by Eric Stoltz, getting ahead and putting them away.
Logan Schaefer is fouled out and grounded out. There's that slow spinner. And the radar didn't even find it. He was still looking for it.
Well, the radar gun's laughing. I can hear it. It's giggling.
That'll be out of play and quickly in front of the hitter, 2 strikes.
And there's the shorter breaking ball at 76.
Did you take?
I did. Later on, early on, when you have a good arm, you try to throw through a brick wall, and your mind is oatmeal. You just throw the fastball, throw it as hard as you can. You have no clue. But as you get older, you take a little bit off the fastball. You flip the breaking ball up there. You create a little slider, a little change up.
Fly ball to center, and young Smith with a chance. 2 away. Speaking of Smith, who executed that perfect bunt single, as you could see, he's not a big guy. He's only 5'9" from Florida, actually. He was a 5th-round pick of the Padres just last year, so he's only been with the organization a year. They like him. He hit .344 with the Padres in the Arizona League. I imagine a lot of those were leg hits. So just a name to remember. It's an interesting first name, Mallex, Mallex Smith. Sean Halton, one of the minor leaguers brought over for the game by the Brewers today. He sent a long out to right, and he grounded the 3rd. Slice to the right, and that'll be a souvenir.
Hey, while I have a second, good friend of mine by the name of Mike D. He is now the president of the Miami Dolphins. He used to work for the Padres.
Yeah,
good friend of mine. 13 years ago today, Spencer D was brought into this world. I wish you a happy birthday to Spencer D. Boy, how time flies. And when you turn 16 and get your license, call me, let me know. Stay off the road.
You've gone through that experience.
Oh, yeah. So all the best, Spencer, and Mike and Karen D. back in Florida.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Sean Halton. Try to sneak that fastball down at the knees. 6-4 Padres. We talked with hitting coach Phil Plantier the next inning. That ball is drilled to left center. Smith racing and can't get there. Plays the carom nicely and gets it back in as Halton with a rocket double. Brewers digging into that, opened up a can of doubles as they got here today. That's 5 of them.
Well, I know this is not their A lineup, but this Milwaukee Brewer team, they're not going to have any problem scoring runs. They can score some runs with the best of them. The home runs, the extra base hits. It's the pitching that's the big question mark. Can they hold the opposition?
Yeah, they were a top scoring team in Major League Baseball last year. And they came here without today Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez, Corey Hart, who's celebrating his birthday today, 31. Aramis Ramirez, Ricky Weeks. So they're a split squad. Some of the big names over at Maryvale. That ball lifted to left center field. And still carrying, and Smith able to call off Guzman and make the play in deep left center. Good read by Smith to make the play. 2-out double left at second, and the Padres maintain the 2-run lead.
Get your tickets today at Padres.com or call 619-795-5555.
Well, Cactus League action. The Padres lead the Brewers 6-4. And a reminder, Fox Saturday Baseball returns with 3 great matchups as the Angels outfielder Josh Hamilton returns to Texas against the Rangers, or the Yankees battle the defending AL champion Detroit Tigers, or the Redbirds of St. Louis. The Cardinals meet the World Series champion Giants in a rematch of the NLCS. The debut of Fox Saturday Baseball is April 6th. Great baseball coming at you here on Fox.
That's a great way to open the season, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Triple header. Kyle Blanks is going to pinch hit for Eric Stultz and lead off the Padres 6th inning. Big man's had an excellent spring with the bat. Peralta working into his 6th inning. And a strike to Blanks. Kyle hitting .357 this spring. 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. That leads the club. He scored 17 times among the Cactus League leaders.
Don't forget now, Kyle Blanks, he can run as well.
Just missed.
Houston Street heating up in the Padre bullpen, getting ready.
Two and two.
Mistake pitch from Peralta, and Blanks could not connect.
Reaches out and punches a soft fly to center, and that ball is caught by the new center fielder, Josh Prince, for the first down. New outfield now, Blake Davis in left, Prince in center, and Stang in right field.
Now, big boy Kyle Blanks swing the bat right, big swing. So Prince, maybe he held his ground a little bit, but making up for some speed to come in and make the sliding catch. Nicely executed.
And it appears that'll be all for Willie Peralta. He's reached the pitch count, and he will be replaced as skipper Mike Guerrero, the acting skipper today. And it's the Gorzolani, the left-hander, coming in from the bullpen for Milwaukee with 1 out in the 6th, and the Padres leading the Brewers here in Peoria 6-4. Indeed, has been a fun day, a run day here in Peoria, as the Padres here in the last of the 6th inning, enjoying a 6-4 lead. Plenty of action. Fans enjoying it. That youngster that got himself a souvenir, he'll be the happiest kid on the block when he comes back and talks about seeing this ball game to the end. Returning home with a Major League Baseball. Gorzalani, last year with the Washington Nationals. Nice play by the third baseman to throw out Cabrera. Lake Davis ranging into the hole to take a hit away from the Padre leadoff man. 2 out.
Got it on the short hop. Nice play ranging to his left. Of course, Lonnie's going to throw the ball about 89, 90 miles an hour. Into his 6th year in the big league, so a valuable left-hander for Ron Renicky for the Brewers.
Peralta 5 1/3, 6 runs all earned, 10 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Travis Buck batting for the first time today in Kotze's spot. Kotze had a good afternoon, scored a couple of runs. 1 for 1, a couple of walks, and a little floating double that hit the line back in the first inning. Of course, Alani quickly ahead of the left-handed hitting Buck. And strike 3, the foul tip. Clutch by Maldonado. That's it for the Padres. They go in order for the first time today. On to the 7th. A 2-run lead. Padres defensively, Blank stays in the game and will go to left field, replacing Jesus Guzman, and Gregorio Petit in at third base as Cody Ransom's day is over, and he takes back another home run with him after action today. And Phil Plantier, the hitting coach, along with Alonso Powell, have to be pleased with the numbers that your hitters have racked up this spring.
Yeah, so far so good. It's been a long spring, 7 weeks. So, guys have had a chance to get hot, cool off, and then get back going again. So they've been through a lot, and guys are ready to play the season.
Phil, how much time? I mean, you're working with, in large camp. 25 are going to play in New York, but they've had 60 guys, and half of those were hitters. Do you have any time to check on the minor league players that you've called over a handful for each of these games? Do you have a chance to check out some of the young kids coming up from the minor league system?
Oh, sure. I mean, throughout the day, our day starts usually about 7 o'clock in the morning. All the hitters, they run through the cage. They get their early morning routines in. And then through the course of the day, we mix it up. One of the positives about Zoe and I both being here is we get to mix it up, and we get to move around and see all the players and spend as much time as we can with everybody. We've become real familiar with them.
Another positive, Phil, is Yonder Alonso. We've seen him now. We had a TV game the other night. He hit a home run, and then he just absolutely crushed that one. In layman's terms, for the fan watching at home, can you break it down to what improvements he has made to his swing?
Yonder, extremely hard worker. Set himself some goals up for the offseason, kind of clean his move up a little bit, and he did that. And then coming into camp, really it was about just finding his load and finding his timing so his swing can come out. And the beautiful thing about that last at bat was with 2 strikes. And he's starting to realize he doesn't have to try to create anymore. It's just mostly about getting a good pitch, letting the ball come to him, and just trusting his swing.
Houston Street has come in to work this 7th inning, strikes out Scooter Jeanette.
You know, really Yonder did all the hard work already. Now he just gets to go use it, and he gets to start trying to, apply some plans at the plate. And a big focus for him is really trying not to do too much and just letting the swing work for him.
One other thing about Yonder, and really, Phil, these Padre hitters as a whole, and you know as well as anybody playing in the big leagues for a long time and watching hitters, it's crushing the mistakes.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that I've noticed this spring training. Then the Padres, your hitters need to do that for them to score a lot of runs this year and be successful.
No doubt about it. We don't spend a whole lot of time working on up and in and down and away. Mm-hmm. That's where the pitchers are going to have their advantage. You don't over-evaluate yourself on those pitches. We do focus a lot, just like you said, on balls up and out over the plate and down and in, and you're going to hit everything in the middle there, but it's pitch selection, getting a good pitch, and when you get it, you need to put the barrel on it, and the at-bat needs to be over.
Has there been any one player that you've seen make the biggest advance this spring from the time when you first checked in here 6 weeks ago to this point, or is it just a communal upward movement and success?
There's been some guys that have been consistent from day one. Guzman's been extremely consistent. He's been swinging well from the first day of camp until now. Yonder, obviously, Nick Hundley, all his off-season work, he's reaping the benefits of that right now. He's got his confidence where it needs to be. He's got his swing where it needs to be, and Nick's swinging the bat really well.
Well, that's been a great story of the spring, hasn't it? After the turmoil that he went through a season ago, and for him to now hit .429, 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. He's got 7 doubles. It's just a different guy, isn't it?
The ball's jumping off of his bat right now. Most importantly for Nick, we've talked about it before, is him being healthy. And, when Nick's healthy, he's going to be able to go out there and do the things he's capable of doing. So we just need him to stay right where he is right now.
So the philosophy of hitting and trying to generalize here, Phil, that basically you're teaching your hitters, and we watch you around the batting cage in the morning. Now you use the field, left center to right center. That's where your focus is, and then if you get a chance to pull one, you yank it. But it's left center, right center. Ground ball to short is going to end this inning, and we'll continue with Phil Plantier. I'm just wondering the question, and we'll ask you when we come back, or your answer, and that is, does that philosophy filter all the way down to all the minor league teams? We'll be right back. Phil Plantier, stretch half of the 7th here in Peoria. game. 3 up, 3 down, 7th inning. We go to the last of the 7th, and John Axford, the closer for the Brewers, is coming in to get an innings work. Nice turnout here at Peoria, 5,000-6,000, as Phil Plantier has been kind enough to spend some time with us from the dugout. The question that we left hanging there was, how successfully can your philosophy and yours and Alonso's filter all the way down to the last minor leaguer?
Well, hitting off the fastball and using the middle of the field, we're not the only organization to do it, but I think the consistency in which it's being preached all the way down to rookie ball, we're seeing evidence of the success of it here in spring training, because when the minor leaguers do come up here, they're really not hearing a different message. They're hearing the same thing that they're hearing down in the minor leagues, and it makes it comfortable for them to transition into playing for us when they're on the big field here.
Well, that's great, and the results of, again, last year and now this spring are very positive. Thanks, Phil, for the time.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Phil, a week to go.
Good luck. Go to Hacken.
You got it, man. Good talking with you guys.
Phil Plantier, Padres hitting coach, and that is not an easy job.
No.
You've got 25 different personalities. Well, here in camp, you've got 200 different personalities, and every player thinks that he's got his own way to hit, and you've got to be very gentle about how you make subtle changes. And you've got to sell your philosophy, and Phil's done a terrific job of just that. Yonder Alonso, a left field double and a long home run. 3 RBIs, 2 for 3 for Alonso. Probably the last time we'll see him today. Bud Black wants to give him another at bat. Gregorio Petit, the third baseman, will get his first swings. He's on deck. And Houston Street, a 1-2-3 inning, and he's with Kelly Kroll.
Yeah, he looked really good. Houston, the last few just right there at bats, made quick work of those guys.
Yeah,
you feel good?
I actually didn't feel good today. Timing was off. Sometimes you get 3 outs, and that's part of the game. That's what spring training is about, is being honest with yourself and making those adjustments, but realizing, hey, I got 3 outs today. We got through it. Like Ball said, we'll take it. We'll take that, but still got some work to do. We got, I think, a couple more outings before we got a week left, so I'll figure it out.
Is it a different feeling at all coming in, like in the 7th instead of the 9th, or do you just try to tell yourself in your head?
Yeah, not at all. Not at this point, not in spring. Truthfully, you want to come in and face as many big league guys as you can to get that true look, to get that real feel of the game. But they called down and gave me plenty of time, and got to go through my entire routine. So it feels the same. Obviously, once the big lights turn on, the feeling gets going, which makes it more fun, and we're all looking forward to that for sure.
When you speak of the big lights today, Buddy Black actually talked about how a closer really has a special personality. Not everybody wants to be put in that position at the end of a game. Why do you feel like it's such a good stage for you?
I think it's one of those things where I just kind of approach it as the same. This inning out here, to me, will feel it's the same focus, the same energy, the same intensity that I'll take out there in the 9th inning of a game. If I pitched that same exact inning and got the save, I'd still be frustrated with myself afterwards because I want to make my pitches. I always want to try and get better. I think that it is a different inning on certain levels. At the same time, I think maybe that gets hyped up a lot more outside of the box, and when you're out there on the mound, it's just you, the baseball, and the glove, and that's where I try to keep it.
When you talk about getting up to speed with just a few weeks left, what will you try and do now here in your next couple times out on the mound?
Probably do less. I've really been pushing myself hard this spring training, and a lot of times you're balancing that. How can I still make gains during spring training? Once the season starts, it's more about baseball, less about the weight room, less about your routine, your running routine and your conditioning. So I'll actually probably back off, start to taper towards the season, get into more of my in-season routine, and hopefully my body will freshen up and feel better.
Awesome, Houston. Thank you so much for being with us. I told you that wouldn't be too bad.
You took it easy on me.
Guys, there you have it. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Kelly. Houston Street, for most of the men who take on that closing role, and we were going through the history of how that has changed, as Petit sends a fly ball almost over, running it as Prince in center field, 2 away. a hard thrower come in and they just knock you down with their power. Now Trevor Hoffman, became that great reliever with the changeup, but most of them are power pitchers. Now Houston's small for the, if you're going out to look for a closer, usually they're big men. He's one of the smaller guys on the entire pitching staff, but his pinpoint control, and you can see he's such a cerebral guy.
He most certainly is, and one of the points he made, we did a little instructional with Houston, the preview show, that ever since he was a kid, he and his dad would play catch. And I stress this to anybody wanting to pitch. From day one, his dad taught him, throw to a target. Whether it's the label on the hat, whether it's the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the left knee, the right knee. Always play catch with a purpose.
Jerko, another base hit, although jammed, he's able to be strong enough to muscle that over the first baseman's head. And Jerko with a couple of base hits today.
It's a nice day after caught looking 2 times in a row. The first 2 at-bats going the opposite way both times as well.
Against the top reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers, John Axford.
Yeah, John Axford can get a little wild. And you talk about a ball off the plate, nearly down by the knuckles of Jed Jerko. Fights that one off because it was elevated. A lot of walks from John Axford. He blew more saves than any other reliever last year after chalking up 35 on the season.
Benefited from being in the same bullpen with Trevor Hoffman. Hoffman's last year with the Brewers and picking his brain and then taking over that role. Going back to your point, I think it's worth reiterating, and that is, youngsters, if you're playing catch, just don't throw it back and forth.
Right.
Have a purpose of throwing it, even if you're not throwing hard. Try to hit that spot
every single time.
Here's Malek Smith with that bunt single, his first time up. And it's one of the charms of spring training to get to see the minor league players come over. They handle major league pitching and the stage, even though it's spring training.
And I'm sure Phil Plantier or Alonso Powell or any of the hitters in the dugout talked to Smith before this at-bat. Hey, here's what to expect from John Axford. He throws hard. He's a little wild. He's got a breaking ball. A little scouting report before sitting in the box against the veteran right-hander. He's kind of cleaned it up a little bit, too. Trimmed the beard a little bit, and the hair in the back.
Did his collegiate pitching at Notre Dame.
Irish.
2-2, a delayed steal. Jerko, and he's out. Well, that's a spring training call. Ends the inning and shortens the game. On to the 8th, 6-4. Looping doubles to left, Katse, and then chased home by Alonso. Cody Ransom went deep to the opposite field, his 4th home run, but that was matched by the 2-run homer by Donnie Murphy to make it 2-2. Cameron Maven in the 2-run inning with a seeing eye single to make it 4-2. 3 doubles for the Brewers in the 5th inning to tie it at 4, and then Alonso, a 2-run shot to deep right field to give the Padres the lead they currently enjoy 6-4. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, comes in to work the top of the 8th inning for the Padres. He faces Orlando Arcia. Arcia, infielder, his first at bat today.
Well, like you mentioned last time out for Tommy Lane, Dick, that, those numbers, he had the one bad outing that really skyrocketed the ERA for Tommy. So it's all about, bouncing back the next time out, get an opportunity for a clean inning here against the Brewers.
Weak wave by Arcia. 2 strikes and a ball on the young infielder. Davis and Maldonado scheduled after Arcia, who chases strike 3.
Number 57,
Chris Davis has struck out twice and grounded out today. You know something, I was thinking with the baseball in the home opener just a couple of weeks away, that I got a couple of groups that I want to bring out to the ball yard. How do I go about doing that? Ground ball, shortstop, nicely played by Cabrera. That strong arm throws out Davis.
Well, Professor, I'll tell you, and fans listening, the Padres games are more fun with a group, right?
I know that.
Yeah. So groups as small as 20 people can join big savings, special seating, a scoreboard welcome, and much more. Now, Petco Park also offers several exclusive group facilities to fit your group needs, which, you could tell your groups about. Reserve your group tickets today. Private suite is very nice. It's sweet.
That's the one where they bring the foods free.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get on the horn, 619-795-5555. That's 619-795-5555. Enjoy your day out at the ball yard. How you doing?
Lane with a strikeout and a ground out, and here's the catcher Maldonado. A double. Hit taken away by Jerko at second on his bid to drive one into right field, and he struck out his last time. Back to the mound, Lane right there. And it's a quick 1-2-3 8th inning for the Brewers against Tommy Lane.
The Padres lead the Brewers 6-4 and get to the park early Saturday, April 13th. This is a good one. The Padres are going to host the Colorado Rockies. First pitch at 5:40. Now the first 25,000 fans in attendance. You're going to take home a Chase Headley bobblehead presented by Fox Sports San Diego. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at Padres.com or get on the horn at 619-795-5555. Chase Headley bobblehead day at the ball yard. Dick?
Had to get that to
add
to the collection. You bet. Burke Badenhop, who was pitching in Florida last year with the Rays. He was with Miami as well the year before. And his numbers, a lot of work there, 66 games for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, not bad. Probably pretty even as far as hits to innings pitched. But the one thing I look at, he kept the ball in the ball yard and the walks. 12 walks in 62-plus innings. Fastball, breaking ball, changeup.
And he will face the youngster, Malik Smith, who was up when Jerko was thrown out on the delayed steal. And Smith pounds that one foul. On deck is another one of those youngsters from the minor league camp, and the Padres trying to reward their effort, getting his first at bat with the major league team. Gabriel Quintana from the Dominican Republic, who was with the Eugene team, Northwest League last year, and the Arizona League Padres. Smith with a fly ball to left, hit fairly well, but Davis is there in the gap to make the catch. And here's Quintana. Got to be a thrill just to hear your name announced to the crowd.
Pinch hitting for the Padres, number 87, Gabriel.
I mean, he's a young one. He's just 20 years young, from Azua in the Dominican Republic. Hit .291 in the Arizona League. Those are his numbers at Eugene. So his first at bat with a big club. How about that? To be 20 years of age, wearing a major league uniform, playing with a major league team. Grounds it to short. Garcia with the play, and there's 2 out.
Quintana's listed at 6'2", 190, and it looks like to me, only being 20 years old, he's going to have some time to fill out and mature a little bit as a player. So big thrill for him today.
Not a lot of erasures on that scorecard. That's Bob Euchre's scorecard. Once the math changes are made, then no one has a name they're playing.
Right.
Just everyone's anonymous. Not a bad system.
No.
John Baker, 1 for 3. I mean, you're a Hall of Fame announcer, one of the great catchers of all time. You can play it off the back screen as well as anyone.
Yeah.
Those pass balls. That's why he started that pass ball school, Euchre. It's not easy to do that. You teach kids how, not to catch the ball, and only Euchre could do that. A ball and a strike to Baker with 2 outs here in the 8th. A 6-4 Padre game. Good man on the club, Baker. Cal Berkeley. I wouldn't want to take an IQ test with Baker. He and Street. That might be a good contest.
Yeah.
But in terms of not only being smart, but the wealth of knowledge. You can bring up any subject, and Baker can talk intelligently about it. Kind of like you, in a way.
Oh, well, please.
Yeah.
I think he had his head buried in a crossword puzzle today. It was Luke Gregerson and him.
Yeah, well, the Sunday puzzle. If you can pass that test, you are smart. Good inning by Badenhop. 1-2-3. The Padres story to the 9th. The Padres leading by 2. complex today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Attention, please. Mark Andrew Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Enberg. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
I love it. Disseminated. You make it sing, big boy.
Thank you.
Top of
How
the
many
night.
O's in that smooth?
Smooth, that'd be about 5.
Oh, that's probably my top score.
Yeah, it is.
Thank
For
you.
spring training.
Thank you.
I get tougher when the season begins, so I allow a liberty here. Sean O'Sullivan. Now, here's an interesting case. This 25-year-old from the San Diego area grew up following the Padres and cheering for them. He's got fastball up around 95 miles an hour, but unable to quite make it with a big league club, and getting his chance now to show his stuff with the Padres.
And we always know that pitching is at a premium, so you stay sharp in the minor leagues. Who knows? Sean O'Sullivan go down to Tucson and get some innings. Might get that call. There's always a pitcher that gets hurt. There's always something that's happening at the big league level, so you have to be prepared. And he's throwing the ball quite well when we've seen him.
90 on his first fastball strike. Josh Prince batting for the first time today for Milwaukee. Word on O'Sullivan is the fastball isn't a problem. It's getting a little tougher secondary pitches. And been working on that this spring. Line to first baseman. Alonso. That's a mighty leap for yonder. Stabbing that ball and taking a double away from the hitter Prince.
Have to take a look at the jumping ability. Oh, he gets up about 3 inches. And Prince back to the dugout.
A pauper.
I swear I saw a raspberry beret on him.
High fly ball to deep center field, and Smith giving ground has room. Caught that up in the webbing of the glove. As Holton with a long out to center, and the Brewers are down to their final out. We remind you to stay tuned. The Padres post-game show. The conclusion of our game today. Blake Davis has an RBI, not an RBI, a double and scored in the 5th inning. One of 3 doubles by the Brewers. Aoki and Murphy with RBI doubles. Davis started it with a line double to left. Padres out away from their 14th win this spring. They don't count, but it always feels good for the players and the fans to walk away saying, saw the home team win.
You know, the one thing I look at a spring training game, just so you know, nobody gets hurt. That's the one thing that I always kind of cringe at. You see somebody going to the corner, you see somebody slide. Unfortunately for the Padres, they experienced that with Chase Headley.
Yep.
So it's part of the game, yeah, but you know, you just hope you play 9 innings and everybody is healthy after 9.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The Brewers down to their final strike.
I mean, you didn't get hurt, did you? I'm okay. You didn't get hurt today, did you? You're good to go.
Oh, yeah. It's a good day.
Yeah.
Got a little cramp there making those changes when that busy the 7th inning. I've got a little cramp in my right wrist, but I think I'll ice it down and
you're good to go.
Yeah, right back at it. Shot to right field, base hit. The Brewers are still alive. Davis with his 2nd hit. Well struck. So the tying run comes to the plate here in the 9th inning. Scooter Gennett. He has a single, fly to left, and struck out.
Second baseman, number 3, Scooter Gennett.
I like the nickname Scooter.
I do too.
I guess Rizzuto was the most famous Scooter in baseball.
And I'm sure when Gennett was a kid, he could scoot down those base paths with the best of them. Or maybe his name was Scott. I'm just taking a guess. I haven't looked in the media guide.
No, there's, as I recall, there's a move up to second base by the runner Davis, defensive indifference. brief visit at the mound as they want to be careful here. Although Jeanette not with a lot of power, but want to get this over and take the win back to the clubhouse. And left fielder Kyle Blanks squeezes the final out, and the Padres have won it 6-4. Stick around. We'll be back to hear from Buddy Black. We'll recap the games, all the highlights today, and plenty to show you on Padres Live, brought to you by Cox Communications. Coming right up.